And several people gave that prostitute money, $500. And the prostitute, at the end of the $500, getting $500 from several people, had sex with a person, and then she was armed robbed. So all the money came back. Mr. Williams wasn't involved in that, but he heard about it. He made those people find the prostitute and repaid her every dime. People stole from stores that Mr. Williams found about. He went to the stores and he repaid all that. He didn't steal anything. He doesn't need to steal anything. Your Honor, Mr. Williams stands with Elton John. Elton John called Mr. Williams the next coming of John Lennon. Mr. Williams is unbelievable talent. He's not just a rap artist. In fact, when he's interviewed in 2017, he gives a statement and he says, I had to learn rap. He grew up in a house learning other forms of music. He likes all music, but rap hit in his community, and his community raised him. They supported him. They came out to him. They made him get into establishments, and once the establishment saw all the people come out, he got more establishments. Then he went out of that little area in Atlanta to other parts of Georgia, and then to all the neighboring states and throughout our country. And he has performed on every continent but one. He has performed in front of, being the headliner, 300,000 people at one time. He has a real life and career. He is not the leader, and he is not worried about buying jewelry that is stolen. Mr. Williams is actually innocent. I'm not trying to corrupt our plea. That's his plea, and he's entitled to it, and he wants it, and he embraces it. But to me, this is a wrongful prosecution. This is outrageous.
All right, so you're pleading guilty, or your client is pleading guilty to counts 57 through 62.
It's all true.
Do you
Yes,
concede
there's a factual
there's a factual basis
I
for
can
those
see.
counts?
Yes, I can see that.
Okay. All right, I mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. And Your Honor, I'll answer any of your questions, but the point I'm trying to make is 45 years to serve 25 years in prison, when just this morning it was a probationary offer. It was a probationary offer. The state knows, but they want to control. They have this theory of music, and they want to stop Mr. Williams from making music, from entertaining, just stop his life. That's just not right. And it's wrong of the district attorney in Fulton County to do that. If they offer probation, then he's not a 45 to serve 25 years in custody type of person, and he's certainly not the person that the state has stated in front of the court. What we're asking, Your Honor, on count one, which is the RICO count, to accept the nolo contendere plea. Please sentence Mr. Williams to 20 years to serve 5 years in prison commuted to time served. Mr. Williams has served, as I said, 22.5 years. On count 56, Your Honor, that's the leadership of a gang, nolo plea, 20 years to serve 5 years commuted to time served, consecutive to all other counts. On count 57, which is a gang count, Your Honor, not a leader, guilty plea, 20 years to serve 5 years commuted to time served, concurrent with count one. With regard to count 58, which is possession of, I believe it is marijuana with intent to distribute, 10-year sentence on probation, concurrent with count one. On count 59, which is violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of codeine with intent to distribute, 5 years on probation, concurrent with count one. On count 59, Your Honor, which is violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession of cocaine, 3 years on probation, concurrent with count one. Count 61, 5 years of probation. It's a firearm count, consecutive to the other counts, consecutive to I believe it's 45 years to serve 5 years in prison, commuted to time served, 40 years on probation, credit for the time already served and community time served. As I said, after 3 years of probation, the probation becomes non-reporting, and after successful completion of 10 years on probation, the balance of the sentence be terminated. Mr. Williams asked the court for house arrest for 3 years as part of the sentence, but house arrest specifically defined that Mr. Williams will be in his home or at any lawful employment, touring, studio, performance, business meetings, and the like. Wear an ankle monitor for the first year and pay the costs of same, and the company must be approved by probation department, and the ankle monitor to be affixed within 10 days of hopeful release from custody. Mr. Williams cannot possess a firearm, but he can be around licensed security who are armed or other persons who are lawfully carrying a firearm with a license, and that would be knowingly for Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams can transfer probation outside the state of Georgia. He has residences in the state of California. He has studios in the state of California. Mr. Williams be allowed to travel throughout our country and the world for lawful work-related industries. Mr. Williams wants to perform. He's going to do this anyway, Your Honor, but we made it part of the sentence. At least one concert each year at a venue, if they'll have him holding 10,000 people, if that is workable for the venue and Mr. Williams' management, and he is going to donate all of the profits that he makes to a 501c3 charity. Mr. Williams wants to pledge $100,000 for the next 3 years to the Fulton County Sheriff's Office if they will hold an illegal firearm buyback to buy back firearms that are not supposed to be on our streets. Mr. Williams does not wish to go near the Cleveland Avenue area, not to insult that area at all, but it is just not a good idea under this circumstance. And he can drive on the highway, but otherwise not come within 1 mile of the area that we call Cleveland Avenue, and we can give the exact dimensions of that area. Mr. Williams must perform 100 hours of community service per year for the next 3 years as designated by probation department. Mr. Williams can associate, and this was agreed to previously, with people who are convicted felon or alleged gang members.
I lead an organization whose mission is affordable housing. Prop 33 would sabotage our work to solve the housing crisis.
I lead an organization whose mission is affordable housing. Prop 33 would sabotage our work to solve.
It was all up in the air. That may have been something y'all had already hammered out, but it wasn't. It's not anything they're bound to.
Absolutely.
Fair. Okay.
I agree with that. Mr. Williams can have no contact with any of the supposed victims, and there was an Exhibit A attached to the state's proposed plea agreement, negotiated plea agreement that was sent to you, so we adopt that Exhibit A, but we can give it to the court if you need those names. And Mr. Williams had no contact with any of the co-defendants in this indictment, with the exception of Mr. Quantavious Greer, that is his biological brother, as well as Mr. Sergio Kitchens. He's a phenomenal artist. He goes performer known as Gunna, G-U-N-N-A. Mr. Williams and Mr. Kitchens are contractually obligated, and they frequently perform music together. Your Honor, any other conditions that this honorable court deems appropriate? I want to thank the court for all your time. Always, I want to thank Ms. Percival for everything she's done. I want to thank Mr. Williams for allowing me to stand with him. I really never thought we would be here, but this is his decision. I want to thank the Honorable Keith Adams, who may want to speak, Your Honor, but I can never imagine a better lawyer than Keith Adams.
Mr. Adams, do you want to add anything to the record?
Your Honor, I don't know that there's really much to add. Mr. Steele has represented to the court, I think fully and thoroughly, the breadth of our knowledge of the case. Mr. Williams's background, I think the court has not just heard it from Mr. Steele, but has had the opportunity to sit here and hear some of the evidence and kind of get a feel. You've had a chance also to observe Mr. Williams and then get a feel for him, his background, and so forth. You know, the only thing I can say about Mr. Williams that hasn't been said is that he comes from an area. You might have heard throughout the course of the trial that there was an album, a concert tour. We came from nothing. And that is true. Mr. Williams came from, you know, I hate to use the word abject poverty, but that really is the case. Came from an area where there was a significant amount of crime, where, as you've heard, he's had tragedy in his life and has observed tragedy in his life. And he has gone through a good bit. He has been involved in a lot, but he has raised himself up. He has done the best he could and has done phenomenally well, and is, I think, an inspiration to a lot of people from that community who look to him and see the success that he has gained and have been fully supportive of him. But he finds himself here. He's in front of you. He is tendering this plea because he accepts responsibility. You have heard everything Mr. Steele has had to say. I can only ask that you follow what we have put before you. You also have, I believe, the paperwork that was given to you by the state, which kind of gives you some idea of what they were looking for as well in terms of conditions on Mr. Williams if we were to have reached some sort of agreement. And we ask that if you feel that there is anything within the state's proposal that might be appropriate in terms of sentence for Mr. Williams, that the court please feel free to do that. There is nothing that he puts himself before the court. And I think 2.5 years sitting, going through this process, challenging the process, but now standing before you and asking that you consider everything and sentence him appropriately in the way that we've requested. I'd simply ask you, I'd join Mr. Steele and Mr. Williams in asking you to do the same. And I thank you as well, as Mr. Steele did, for your patience with us and for bringing some order to the proceedings that candidly was needed. So that's all I have to say. I thank you again, and I ask you to consider everything that's been put before you.
All right, Mr. Williams, is there anything that you want to say?
Yes, ma'am. I take full responsibility for, my crimes or my charges. I want to say sorry to my family, my mom. My mom got 11 kids. I can't say all their names, My managers, my kids that's not here. Really, everybody that got something to do with this situation, I want to say sorry for just having so much time invested into this, and I am a smart guy, I am a good guy, and I really got a good heart, I find myself in a lot of stuff because I was just nice or cool, and I understand that you can't be that way when you reach a certain height because it could end bad. And it don't really have to have nothing to do with you, but it could end bad and it could, fall on you. And I know the choice is yours, it's up to you. And I hope that you allow me to go home today and just trust in me to just do the right thing and never see you again unless it's at a, bar in the future or something. Just out of this type of situation, I promise you I won't ever be in this type of situation again. I'm going away. I've learned from my mistakes. I come from nothing and I've made something and I didn't take full advantage of it. I'm sorry. Through these last 2.5 years of my life, you are really, truly, honestly, the best thing that has happened to me because you made everything fair for me and everybody involved. On both sides, I'm sorry to the sheriff, everybody for just having to put extra time in. I know y'all got paid more money, but I'm sorry for y'all having to put this extra time in to be away from y'all family, and I just hope that you find it in your heart to allow me to go home and be with my family and just do better as a person. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I am. I know the heights I've reached. I know the impact I got on people, period, in the community, all people. I learned that late, like these past 2 or 3 years of my life, I kind of learned that late. And maybe it was because I was, probably on drugs or anything, I don't know. But I have came to my senses and I understand what I mean to this world. But I am a good guy, I don't mind doing stuff like, free shows, and I always did that. I did free shows and gave it to single parents, millions of dollars. I made $1.8 million on a free show, and I gave it all to single parent charity. And I did like 2 or 3 shows that made like $700,000 a piece, and I gave it to the breast cancer organization. I do things like I put millions of dollars back into my community for real. I really did. I did more than anybody ever did from my side, But I understand, rap lyrics. I understand how it could be twisted. I understand what it could do to the mind of people. I understand all that, and I promise you I'm 100% changing that. It's just, I'm older, I'm grown now, and it's just like, I'm smarter. It's more things to rap about. Like, I've experienced a lot of good things. I experienced more bad things, but I experienced a lot of good things too. And anyway, I can go forever.
Well, I appreciate it. And I appreciate that you do realize how much of an impact you have on people. It's past your neighborhood. It's worldwide, especially young people. And having come up from where you came up from and living in and around that, that gangs are damaging to our community. And it may be that a whole lot of rap music and the rap industry is, honestly, it sounds like a modern day version of kind of WWE wrestling that used to be on television, where people would just get up and posture and act like they hated each other. And it may be that that's a lot of what is going on in the music industry with rap. But whether it is fake or not, it has tremendous impact on kids and young people who think, this is cool, this is what I want to do, look at him, he's a millionaire, I can do that by being, a gangster in the streets. And that's not true. What you're likely to have happen to you if you're a gangster in the streets is you get shot, you get killed, or you get thrown in prison. And those are, by far the most likely outcomes. And, you've been in here watching the trial, and you've seen the pictures of Mr. Ryan posing with a gun as big as he is at 15 years old and going out and shooting and killing another teenager. And that's what gangs do, and that's unfortunately a lot of what rap music does. And if you are a modern day John Lennon, he might have rapped too in this day and age. I don't know, but I know you're talented, and even if you choose to continue to rap, you need to try to use your influence to let kids know that that is not the way to go, and that there are ways out of poverty besides hooking up with the powerful guy at the end of the street selling drugs. And, I know that happens for protection sometimes, but a much better way would be getting an education and setting, hanging around with people who set a good example. And you be one of those people that sets a good example. I mean, all right, so that's my high horse on that. I could also go on. But I want you to try to be more of the solution and less of the problem. All right? All right, so it is not lost on the court that the state, had they been able to come to agreement on certain special conditions, was willing to entirely dismiss the RICO count, was willing to entirely dismiss one of the gang counts, and was willing to entirely dismiss this, machine gun count. Was willing to give a sentence that permitted Mr. Williams to walk out of the door today, and therefore does not seem to be particularly worried that Mr. Williams, if on the streets, would be a danger to society. I'm taking that into consideration and crafting my sentence. And in permitting a NOLO plea to the RICO count and one of the two gang counts, I would not be permitting the NOLO to the one if you were not pleading guilty to at least one of them. But you are, and y'all admit a factual basis for the counts that you are pleading guilty to. I find there to be a factual basis for those counts, and for the remaining counts with which you are charged. I am going to impose a sentence, and I've taken a little bit of the suggested special conditions from the defense and a little bit of the special conditions suggested by the prosecution. On count one, the court sentence is 20 years to serve 5 years, commuted to time served, the balance of 15 years to be probated, and a $25,000 fine. On count two, the sentence is 5 years to serve, commuted to time served. That's the minimum sentence that's permitted on that count. It is required to be run consecutively. I'm going to run it consecutive to count one, but I am going to backload. Oh, I'm sorry, that is not commuted. That is 5 years to serve, and it's going to be run consecutively to count one, backloaded, by which I mean after you serve your 15 years of probation. If you have been successful on that probation, and I sincerely hope that you are, then at the end of that 15 years, I will commute the entire rest of any service portion of your sentence to time served. So I'll get to the end of it and give you the total sentence. But I'm also going to impose a $15,000 fine with regard to that count. Count 57, 20 years to serve 5, commuted to time served, the balance of 15 years probated, concurrent with count 1. Count 58, 10 years to serve 5, commuted to time served, balance probated, concurrent with count 1. 59, 5 years to serve, commuted to time served, concurrent with count 1. 60, 5 years to serve, commuted to time served, concurrent with count 1. Count 61, 5 years to serve, that is required to be also a consecutive sentence, so that's going to be run consecutively to count 56 and backloaded. Count 62, 10 years to serve, also required to be served consecutively, that's going to be consecutive to count 61, also backloaded. So essentially, the total sentence is 40 years to serve the first 5 years in prison, but commuted to the time that you have already served, followed by 15 years on probation, followed then by the backloaded 20 years which can be served in custody and will be served in custody if you are not successful on your probation. If you are successful in completing your 15 years probation, that will be commuted to time served. You are to remain on reporting status for the first half of your probation, active reporting for the first 7.5 years of your probation, and that is pursuant to OCGA 17-10-1, subsection 2, A2A. And Mr. Steele and Mr. Adams, in order to keep him on reporting status, there needs to be good cause shown. We all concede that good cause is shown here?
Stipulate.
All right, I appreciate that. Special conditions of your probation.
What good cause? What do it mean?
Can I have a second, Your Honor?
Sure.
Let the judge. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. You had enough time to talk with your attorneys?
Yes.
Okay. All right, special conditions of your probation. After 48 hours from your release, you are to stay away from the metro Atlanta area, and that's defined by the U.S. Census Bureau. It may change, but you can look that up anytime to figure out what that is. For the first 10 years of your probation, subject.
Prop 4 protects the water we drink, the air we breathe, our natural resources, and our homes and communities. Prevent wildfires. Provide safe drinking water. Protect.
It's defined the same way that you all were contemplating it when you were negotiating. You can get here up to 24 hours prior to any such event, and you need to leave within 48 hours after any such event. In addition, during each year of your probation, I'm going to require that you come to the metro Atlanta area and make a live anti-gang and anti-gun violence presentation 4 times a year, each year of your probation, at a grade school, a middle school, a boys or girls club, anything like that, that type of group. And if you want to, that presentation can include a benefit concert, and these presentations may count towards your required community service hours, which I'm going to impose, that during each year of your probation, you perform 100 hours of community service. You are, and this is required by the fact that there's a gang conviction. You shall not knowingly have contact of any kind or character with any other member or associate of any criminal street gang. Exception to that, if your brother is a member of any street gang, I hope you talk him into getting out of it. Quantavious Greer, and then also Sergio Kitchens, as long as you are contractually obligated to him. That is going to include anybody who is named in this indictment, except as absolutely necessary to conduct the lawful business of your musical career, and to any extent that the state is not agreeing to the exception for Mr. Kitchens. In the event that that part is not enforceable because it is only a portion of a special condition, going to provide that that be severable from the rest of this, and I'll put some case cites in the Senate sheet for that. You are in no way to promote any criminal street gang or any criminal street gang activity, including on any social media platform. You are not to utilize any hand signs, terminology, or language that promotes any criminal street gang. You are not to participate in any criminal street gang activity. You are not to knowingly engage in any contact with any of the victims that are listed in this indictment or with any of their family members. And you may not have in your possession or with arm's reach any kind of a firearm, because you're going to be a convicted felon. And that is, except I know that you have security and you need security. You can be within arm's reach of a firearm that is in the possession of either licensed law enforcement or licensed security personnel that are in your security detail or anybody that you're performing with. you are to submit to random drug screens and not use any drugs unless they are prescribed for you by a licensed physician. You are to execute a Fourth Amendment waiver that will permit the search of your person, residence, vehicles, and electronics for any firearms, any criminal street gang paraphernalia, or any illicit drugs. And as I mentioned with regard to one of the first of your co-defendants from this trial, at least since I've been involved, to plead guilty, our Uniform Superior Court rules instruct and provide that it is absolutely proper for a judge to grant leniency in sentencing when, quote, the interest of the public in the effective administration of criminal justice are served, unquote. And I think that this plea is in the interest of the public and in the interest of effective administration of justice. Have been trying to ensure that, to the extent I can, this trial also abides by that. It's been challenging at certain times. I find your plea to be freely, knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily entered with an understanding of the consequences, and I accept it as such. I also need to inform you that your attorneys are going to represent you through either the last day of this term of court or 30 days from now, whichever is later, and any of the filings that were mentioned that need to be filed within that time, they would file on your behalf unless they are permitted to withdraw from representing you before that time. I am not going to impose the conditions suggested by your counsel about the benefit concerts and the donations to the sheriff's office, but I certainly strongly encourage you to do those things and to do and continue to do things that benefit your community and especially help young people to stay out of criminal trouble. And unless there is anything from counsel other than that.
I have one matter, Your Honor.
Okay, and does the state as well?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, with regards to Mr. Williams being permitted to come to the Metro Atlanta area or Cleveland Avenue area for funeral or the other items,
right?
Can you also consider, God forbid, there's a serious medical condition of a person that
in
is,
his immediate family,
yeah.
Certainly we can add that. And I also meant to mention, because I know you do travel all over in order to pursue your career, that it's permissible for your probation to be transferred to out of state, and that has to be done through probation, but that is fine with the court. And you may also keep your, nobody's mentioned it, but keep your passport and travel out of state and internationally to the extent that you need to do that for business purposes as well. All right, Mr. Vadi.
Yes, just very briefly, and thank you. The district attorney just wanted me to urge the court, due to the fact that the Thomases have been negatively affected incredibly traumatically by what has been discussed by both parties here today, to make a brief statement as she believes that they fall within the exception or within the bounds of Marcy's law, if the court would allow. I understand the court made a ruling earlier as it relates to that, but she wanted to.
All right, thank you, and I appreciate, well, I cannot even begin to understand what they must, anybody must be going through when they lose a family member to violence or criminal violence. Mr. Williams himself has expressed his own sorrow to the family. I, again, am going to stand by my belief that the appropriate time to hear a victim impact statement from them is at the close of the trial that contains the murder count with regard to their family member.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Okay, court is adjourned. Good luck to you. And I'm going to have there better be no violations. But if there are any, you're coming back to see me.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And you're, but since the offers for Mr. Kendrick and Mr. Stillwell are expiring today, we will offer the record.
Let's take a recess, and I'll be back.
The guy that's the keyboarder, he was talking about it. He was like, we're gonna go to East LA, this and this. And I was like, yeah, I heard a bunch of people. My cousin went with my brother last night.
Hey there, Young Thug trial watchers. This is a law and crime legal alert. A mother was recently awarded millions of dollars in a lawsuit against baby formula manufacturers after her premature baby was diagnosed with necrotizing enterocolitis, or NEC, after receiving bovine-based formula. The lawsuits allege that Enfamil and Similac premature formulas are linked to NEC, but manufacturers failed to warn the public of the risks and instead targeted them with false advertising. So if your premature baby was diagnosed with NEC after they were fed Enfamil or Similac, you may qualify for compensation. And one of our legal sponsors is partnering with Wagstaff Law Firm. This is a national firm renowned for their expertise to ensure that eligible claims are thoroughly presented. Visit babyformuladamages.com/YTT.
How'd you fix it? Smooth it. I swear. I just wonder how I did. Look. What does it look like there? I don't know if I'll go away from it. I literally used to do this. No, I'm not with it. Every single wire. Do it out again. I'll show you exactly how I did it. It was easy. I just literally, again, disconnected it, moved the wire around, and I re-plugged it back in. Andrew was having the time of his life. He was like, hey. Who's there? No, but tomorrow's the parade. Oh, yeah. That's the one that's going to be going.
Congratulations, Los Angeles World Series champion! Dick's Sporting Goods has a huge selection of officially licensed Dodgers gear, including hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and more for the whole family. Come in early for the best selection or shop online at Dicks.com. Every season starts at Dick's.
Playtime's over. Ready up! On me.
Time for this old dog to show you a few tricks.
Prepare for hellfire!
take Drew because I know Drew was like, he wanted to go. Granted, I'm going to give you the opinion on the business side, but you always got to make sure you got to, at the end of the day, yes, I listen to the business side, but I have to have balance, bro. You can't. The biggest thing, bro, is the communication. That's what matters, right? Like when you communicated tomorrow, like before, it's like a regular, it's like, all right, cool, we all know, we're all on the same page. That's what matters, bro. So yeah, you guys did the thing to do, and the fact that Andrew enjoyed it, it's like a memory for him. He's on it, right? That's good. I really like that. Damn, no, Thug is out, guys. Thug is out. Here, look, you want to hear it?
Benefit your community and especially help young people to stay out of criminal trouble. And unless there is anything from council other than that.
I have one matter, Your Honor.
Okay, and does the state as well?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, with regards to Mr. Williams being permitted to come to the Metro Atlanta area or Cleveland Avenue area for funeral or the other items,
right?
Can you also consider, God forbid, there's a serious medical condition of a person that
In
is
his immediate family,
yeah.
certainly we can add that. And I also meant to mention, because I know you do travel all over in order to pursue your career, that it's permissible for your probation to be transferred to out of state, and that has to be done through probation, but that is fine with the court. And you may also keep your, nobody's mentioned it, but keep your passport and travel out of state and internationally to the extent that you need to do that for business purposes as well. All right, Mr. Body.
Yes, just very briefly, and thank you. The district attorney just wanted me to urge the court, due to the fact that the Thomases have been negatively affected incredibly traumatically by what has been discussed by both parties here today, to make a brief statement as she believes that they fall within the exception or within the bounds of Marcy's law, if the court would allow. I understand the court made a ruling earlier as it relates to that, but she wants
All right, thank you, and I appreciate, well, I cannot even begin to understand what they must, anybody must be going through when they lose a family member to violence or criminal violence. Mr. Williams himself has expressed his own sorrow to the family. I, again, am going to stand by my belief that the appropriate time to hear a victim impact statement from them is at the close of the trial that contains the murder count with regard to their family member. All right, thank you. Okay, court is adjourned. Good luck to you. And I'm going to have there better be no violations, but if there are any, you're coming back to see me.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hey, what about everybody else, though? So what does that mean to everybody else, though? Like Shannon Stillwell.
But since the offers for Mr. Kendrick and Mr. Stillwell are expiring today, we will offer the record.
Let's take a recess, and I'll be back.
Oh, they're taking a recess. Oh, and he has to do 100 hours of community service, and doing a free show considers that as a. You know he's gonna do a free show, bro. If he was smart, he would be like, We're gonna do the free, keep Thugger free once a year. We're gonna do 100 hours.
Hey there, Young Thug trial watchers. This is a law and crime legal alert. A mother was recently awarded millions of dollars in a lawsuit against baby formula manufacturers after her premature baby was diagnosed with necrotizing enterocolitis, or NEC, after receiving bovine-based formula. The lawsuits allege that Enfamil and Similac premature formulas are linked to NEC, but
Damn. You guys heard it here live first. He's already home. You know what's the first thing you're gonna do? Get you a Chinese burger. Oh, you know what you also said? Yeah, I just want to say, all my family here, I want to say sorry to my family. I want to say sorry to this. He starts naming everybody, and then he turns around to like start naming people that are there for him. And he's like, wait a minute, my kid. Well, he didn't say wait a minute, but he's like, my kids ain't here. All that money, you can't even have your own kids there. Kids can't even make it. But the kids don't even show up. You got all them other people there. But the one I brought into this world couldn't pull up on me?
If you were Dr. Seuss, what would you do? What would Dr. Seuss say to you?
Dr. Seuss had to take that nigga out.
Imprisonment. He's charged with count 57, which was participation in criminal street gang activity, which carries a sentence of 5 to 20 years. He was also charged with count 58, which is violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act. That is for the possession.
Right, marijuana.
Of marijuana, which carries a sentence of 1 to 10 years. As to count 59, I believe that's the possession of codeine with the intent to distribute, which is 5 to 30 years, and count 59, which is the possession of cocaine, which is
60 is possession of cocaine.
So 59 was the codeine, 60
Right.
is the possession of cocaine, which was 1 to 5 years. Possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, which was count 61, which is 5 years to serve consecutive to any count indictment. Possession of a machine gun, which was count 62, which was 10 years to serve consecutive. And then he was charged with count 63, which is possession of a firearm by a convicted felon pursuant to 1611-133. I know my math isn't the best, but that's life plus some years. The state's recommendation, Your Honor, was for Mr. Kendrick to plead to count 1, conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, which was 20 to serve 15. Count 2, the murder reduced to voluntary manslaughter, 20 years to serve 15. 20 years to serve 15. And then to the gang count 57, also 20 years to serve 15, all to run concurrent, and the state was willing to null pros all the other counts in the indictment.
All right. And Mr. Kendrick and the attorneys associated with you, I want to make sure that y'all know that unlike what happened with Mr. Williams, if you plead non-negotiated to less than all of the charges, there is nothing that the court can do if the state chooses to go forward with some of those charges. So you could not do what Mr. Williams pled guilty or nolo to each of the charges that he was facing. You cannot say, well, I'd like to plead guilty to count 1 and I'd like to plead to the reduced charge on count 2, and then I'd like to just skip the rest of them, because the state can say, well, we're not skipping the rest of them, we're still going to try you for the rest of them. And the state can also say, we're not okay with letting you plead to voluntary manslaughter unless you abide by the terms of the agreement. We're going to go forward with the murder trial. So I know that Mr. Weinstein, you and Mr. Apt and everybody else who's been helping know that, but because things seem to have worked out sort of beneficially for some of these other people who have already pled, y'all might think, oh, well, gosh, can't we do something better than that? Given what you're facing, they hold a lot of the cards, and a lot of it is outside of the ability of this court to change, okay? All right.
We understand that, Your Honor. Thank you for advising us of that.
All right, Mr. Stillwell is facing...
Your Honor, Mr. Stillwell is also looking at count 1, which the conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, which is 5 to 20 years. He is facing 2 counts of murder for count 2 and count 49, which each carries a sentence of life imprisonment. He's also charged with count 50 of this indictment, Your Honor, which is participation in criminal street gang activity, which carries a sentence of 5 to 20 years. He's also charged with count 51, participation in criminal street gang activity, also a sentence of 5 to 20 years. Count 52, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon previously convicted under 1611-133, which is 15 years consecutive to any count in the indictment. 54, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, which is 5 years to serve consecutive. Count 64, which is another possession of a firearm by a convicted felon under 1611-133, which is also 15 years to serve consecutive. So Mr. Stillwell's looking at maximum of 2 life sentences plus
85 years.
Plus 85 years, Your Honor. The state's recommendation, and I'll just say globally, Your Honor, was 60 years to serve 40 years in prison. That we would have reduced both of the murders to voluntary manslaughter, Your Honor, and we had given his attorney the option to kind of craft how that 40 years would look, but that was the extent to our negotiations, Your Honor.
And Mr. Stillwell, kind of the same information to you. If the state does not want to reduce charges, you're not entitled to plead to reduce charges. They can say, you got to face these murder charges and we're going to make it a jury trial if you don't agree to what we're offering. Same thing, you can't say, well, I'd like those other charges dismissed if they're not willing to dismiss them in exchange for the negotiated sentence. So obviously each of you has the right to continue with the trial. You know, what you're doing, you are all have very capable attorneys representing you who clearly care very passionately about you all personally, as well as presenting your best case. But it's ultimately going to be up to the jury, and you cannot know what any jury is going to do. And they may say, I don't believe a single bit of this beyond a reasonable doubt. Y'all are both walking. They may say, you know what, I buy this, I don't buy that. I'm convicting you of 4 of the 5 or 4 of the 8 charges. You're still then going to face sentencing. They may convict you of everything. And if you are convicted of everything, Mr. Stillwell, you're facing 2 life sentences plus 85 years on top of that, as opposed to 40 years to serve with parole as a possibility. And Mr. Kendrick, you are facing life plus, I think I added up 115 years. instead of 20 to serve 15. So it's just something to think about. And I mean, it's already past 5 o'clock. So are y'all going to leave the offer open until you have withdrawn the offer before you even put it on the record to?
We communicated this to them last night, and if they did not accept it, then we would have withdrawn off.
Wait, what?
All right, well, given that the state spent the entire day negotiating Mr. Williams' plea,
We didn't have.
ultimately unsuccessfully, I don't know if either Mr. Weinstein or Mr. Sharp would have been able to negotiate with you during today.
They would have, no one, we didn't have any communication from Mr. Weinstein or Mr. And they rejected the offer.
Okay.
I did have communication with Mr. Abate today. I attempted to have communications with the DA last Tuesday morning, but she failed to show up for our meeting.
Any chance y'all might leave it open until 9 o'clock tomorrow?
Your Honor, I'll consult with the DA and if she wishes to read.
Okay. I mean, I have no idea whether they'd want to keep it, but I haven't, we haven't put it on the record, and I haven't ensured myself as the court that they understood what the potential sentences were up until just now. So I would appreciate it if she would, so that they have the opportunity, having heard from the court, to talk to their attorneys. And they may still say that we're good, we're going forward, but.
We'll consult with the district attorney, but as a.
Okay. So in the event that it is no longer open to you or that you decide to reject it anyway, I plan to start the trial again Monday morning. I'm going to have the jury be here at 9. I'm going to have us be here at 8:30. We're back to getting no sleep. So I'll see y'all at 8:30 regardless. Okay, now court is adjourned.
Shout out to Young Thug for coming home, holding it strong. Damn, all the shit he's gonna talk about Gunna, I already could see it, bro. Snitches get stitches. If you didn't know, now you know. These niggas. It says Young Thug took a plea deal. Look, Young Thug looked defeated. We live. Shut your ass up. Damn, bro. Young Thug is home. I can't believe it. I feel like I need to go to the courthouse like you guys did. I need to go to LA. I need to fly to Atlanta. So when he gets out, I'll be right there. Thugger. Here from Frontline Media. Oh, no she didn't, dog. Why's your sister got a picture of this nigga in the New York fucking outfit? That's how she gonna post into the world? Damn, Steph? What is this, nigga? What is this, nigga? New York? That's what we're doing? You were just out in LA, celebrating like crazy, and this was over here in the New York, sleeping. Damn, Rob. Oh, and Frankie responded to her. Grab your Glocks when you see Tupac. Yeah, this one. You haven't even called Frankie today, have you? That's fucked up, dog. Alright. What are you doing, guy? Hey, free Young Thug, he's out. Thug is out.
What do you mean? He got convicted?
He pled. They did a plea deal.
Oh, he snitched.
Time served. Snitch. Time served.
I ain't a snitch, dog. Fuck that fool.
So he's a snitch on the main honcho.
Yeah, fuck that fool.
So you better watch your door. They're gonna come knocking soon.
I don't care, dog. I ain't no blood. I'm gonna fucking slam you, homie.
I know, but he said.
Blue rag.
But he said that's where he was getting his drugs from.
Charlie.
Where you at? Come up.
I'm at the bath, fool.
See? Come on, dog.
My knee hurts.
My knee hurts. My fucking back hurts.
I got an ice pack on my knee, fool. I tore something.
Aw, you're a damn fool.
I'll pull up right now, a little bit. Give me a second.
Alright, pull up.
Alright, fool, bitch.
Like. That's what I'm talking about. Fuck I'm talking about. That's what I wanted to see. Free Young Thug. Free Frankie. Free Man. I'm calling Manny. Manny's next. Manny, I need you back at the shop. Pull up though. With a 6-pack. Fuck, man. Stock market's about to do a dirty one. And I should just pull out. I should just pull out and just wait till next week. Or 2. I don't know. I got all the answers saved. Alright, what are we doing? Multi-chat. Bam 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 bam. What is it called? Ninja what?
you're struggling with getting pro vocal mixes, let me show you something that might help. It's called Xvox, and it's by far the fastest and
looking at several different chats while you're multi-streaming is difficult. But what if I told you there is a free, and I'll say it one more time for the people in the back, free solution that you can download right now and solve this to have TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Kick, and I'll say that again, TikTok combined as well. Let's get into this video. Did I say it was free? I totally said it was free. What you're looking at right now is Social Stream, and this is just a GitHub page where you're able to get all of the information and install it. It started out as a browser extension for Chrome, and you can still use it that way. You can install it. There's a whole bunch of things, and all of its full features are still in the Chrome-based extension, which I think you can use on some other platforms. Anyway, all of that is here. However, they've just recently made an app. And here it is. This is Social Streams, and it's so easy to use that all you do is add your platforms, click a button, and then it's ready to go. That's it, literally. Let me show you this platform. Just FYI, I'm gonna leave the links for the actual application, which you can get for Linux, Windows, as well as Mac. I'll leave that down in the description. I am using the latest update from June 2nd, 2024, which is version 1.30, and I'll leave the link for the actual Chrome extension version if you want that. So what you're looking at right now is Social Stream, and you can see I've added my YouTube channel, and it was very simple. Here's how you do it. I'll add my Twitch back. Once I click this, it'll say enter your Twitch name, Darkened Cyrus. I click OK, and guess what? It's there. Done, easy, simple, boom. Now, how do we make this work, and how customizable is this? Well, let me just tell you, there are more customizations on this than I ever anticipated, even to the point where it will beep you, like make a little audible beep, and you can customize that sound, by the way, so that you know when a new message has come in. And if you're really fancy with how you do your audio, you totally could tune it to where only you hear it and not your chat. Anyway, looking at this, it was so easy. We can even add TikTok. How do I do it? I just say, what is my actual @ for that platform? Let's do Facebook. It's getting really hard now, guys. Let's do Kick. It's not hard to continue to add these depending on what you're there. So I've zoomed out so you can see this, but what you see is every one of these say activate source now. If I click activate source, let's do Twitch, you can see that it pops up my chat right here, which is really cool. It's went ahead and activated and it's watching it. You can minimize or you can close it, but it is actively watching this right now. I'm just gonna minimize it, and I'm gonna do the same thing for, here's Kick. Guess what? It pulled my Kick chat. I'll do Facebook. Guess what? It says see more on Facebook, but if I hit X, it's pulled up my page. I can do the same thing for TikTok. Once this pops up, it'll pull up my TikTok page. Cool, done, I'll minimize it. And then the same thing for YouTube. I'm not live right now, so that's why it says chat is disabled for the stream, but when I do go live, it will pop up. And guess what? All of them will be combined. Now let me show you the cool stuff. This is called a coaster. You put your drink on it.
Whoa, wait!
What?
It's a square!
It is. Can you show the camera what it looks like?
It looks like a square.
It looks like a square? Yeah? Do you have anything you want to say to my friends?
The square is the 4 sides.
Yes, it does have 4 sides. What letters do you see on there, by the way?
C's.
And?
C's.
C's? You don't see DC? DC?
CC? I think it's CC.
Oh, okay. Can you tell me something? What do you want to go eat? You want to go eat Zaxby's? Okay, what do you want to eat from Zaxby's?
Chicken nuggets and fries.
Okay, all right. Go put some clothes on, and I'll be downstairs. We'll go ahead and go get some fries. Okay, I'll leave it right there, okay? Okay, we'll leave it right there. I guess we're going to go eat Zaxby's, guys. Let's finish this tutorial then. There are so many options with this, and there's the actual dockable panel. You can totally just take this URL and put it into your browser source to be able to use it on stream. And yes, you can make it transparent by clicking overlay and then this red circle, force transparent. And basically all it does is just update this URL. The one thing you need to know is if you do turn something on, you have to switch out the URL because it adds those to the end of the URL. That's the one thing that's kind of weird. Just know that. Also, I didn't mention you need to turn on extension active so that people can actually see the things here and you can see it. So what I'm gonna do is when I click this, it's just gonna open this up, and here is the window. So here's the chat. Obviously no one's chatting because I'm not live, but you can trigger a fake text message,
or test message, and you'll see that they'll pop up. And I have it on magnify the view because I am getting older and I need the larger font on my other screen, which is fine. And you can see this is how things would pop through. They show the icon at the front. They even have Slack support. Look at that. They'll show the icon of the actual person, the name, and then the message. You can totally customize all of this under visibility. You can actually hide the sources of where things come from. You can hide and blur messages. You can show the channel icon.
Fuck. I need to learn how to add this shit. No, you don't want to do that.
Turn guessing whether you're expensive.
Your screen is a way that everyone can see all the chat across all the different platforms. It's really easy and free too, so you know what? Let's get to it! It's an easy install on this one. It's actually a browser extension for Chrome called Social Stream Ninja. There are links in the description. Just the usual Chrome. Go ahead and click here. This is the page that you're going to get options through what this stuff does. Right here is your streaming chat dockable. So this is what's going to enable you to select chat, and it's also what's going to enable you to put chat on your screen. It does two different things. Throwing message address here. That's the height. We're gonna need it to be longer than that, so we're gonna go into properties and we'll put it at 1920 because that.
TikTok, and Kick. Multi-stream is currently the wave because it is a great way for streamers or content creators to extend their reach and to allow their viewers to watch them on their preferred platforms. The reason I'm making this guide is as I've been visiting folks streaming on secondary platforms, I have a suspicion that they're not able to read their chat properly. I'm going into streams, I'm typing into YouTube chats, and it's taking sometimes minutes before the streamer is able to see or acknowledge the message. And I believe this is because people are popping out their chats or having their chats on different monitors and having to remember to go look at that just to see the message. So with this guide, I'm going to be covering my top 3 ways to combine multi-platform chats into one doc in OBS. And I'll be providing pros and cons and my personal preference on what I use. I've been multi-streaming for about 2.5 years now. I have a lot of experience in this space, starting off in TikTok, and I stream on multiple platforms. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and look out for some more guides. So first off, we're going to start off with the first method with Social Stream Ninja. This is actually my preferred method. I've been using this method for a couple years now because it's the most robust and has the most options. So if you want to go with this route, what you want to do is go to socialstream.ninja and you'll go to this website right here. This app has evolved a lot over the years. It first started off as just a Google Chrome extension, but the installation for that is kind of cumbersome and it's probably going to be too difficult for most people that are starting off. So we're going to go with the easiest method I found, which is downloading the Windows app. So what you're going to do is you just go here, click on the Windows app, and then on this new page, you're going to download the installer, extract it, and then run the installer. All right, once you have it installed, it's going to look like this, and you're going to have these options on the side to start adding the platforms that you want to stream to. I currently multi-stream to YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. So all you have to do is very simple, is you just click the platform you want to do, and then a pop-up will show up and you just type your username in there. You don't have to put the @ and once you enter it, it's going to add it to this Social Stream Ninja standalone ad sources. So you do that, you do your username, you do your Twitch, and you add whatever you want. So you see how there's a lot of options here. Got Twitch, Kick, Instagram, Facebook, DLive, Bluestream, Pertub, and other chat sites. So very customizable. This has the most options for multi-streaming. Once you have all your platforms added, once you add your social media sites, all you have to do is click activate on your respective platforms that you want your chat to be combined in. You hit activate, and then it's gonna pop up the chat. The cool thing about this is you don't even need the clutter. Once this pops up, you can close it. Right now, this says chat is disabled for live stream because obviously I have to be live on YouTube. But if I was live on YouTube, you would just see my YouTube chat right here. But you can close that, and then you hit activate source for Twitch. Shows your Twitch chat. Like I said, you don't even need to have this still popped out. You can close it as long as it's running. It's gonna work. And the same thing for TikTok. As long as it's running, it's gonna work. And then on the side right here, you want to hit this toggle to turn it on. And then on the side right here, you want to hit this toggle right here to turn it on. And then on the side right here, you want to hit this toggle right here. Most of these are not necessary. I don't really use half of these because out of the box, the chat already looks really good. And then the last thing you want to do is you want to copy this streaming chat. So this is dockable. So this is the link that you're going to use to copy your custom doc in OBS. So in OBS, you should know how to do this. This is how you add a custom doc. You go to docs on the top, and then you hit custom browser docs. And then what you want to do is just name it. I named mine combined chat, and then you paste the link that you just copied from the program there.
No trade-in needed to get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us and the freedom to...
What if I told you that you could block all ads or get paid to see them? My name is Brandon Moore. I'm an engineer here at Pi, and I've been here.
What is the best way to combine Twitch chat and YouTube chat into a single stream of messages? If you've hopped onto the multi-streaming train lately, you've probably found it really hard to keep up with all your different... Or even heard of StreamerBot before, just head to the website. Okay, I don't want to hear it. I know there's other alternatives that you might have heard of, but there's so many features with the StreamerBot chat window that make this so much better than all the other options I've looked at. Trust me, I've looked at like a dozen other ones. So let's go through them all. For one, they have this really neat tab system. So if you just want to focus on your Twitch audience or just your YouTube audience, you can filter your messages per stream. So if you only want to focus on your vertical messages or only your horizontal messages, you can do that too. It also gives you the option to send messages to every single stream all at once, or choose if you only want to send it to one platform at a time. What's more is if you click on any of the people that are talking in chat, it's gonna pull up a card with a history of all of the messages that they've sent that stream. So if someone in your chat's like, excuse me, streamer, you like missed my question earlier, you can like just click their name.
Fuck up. Alright, we're just gonna run that, see what happens. Who is that, you? You sound drunk. Nigga. Young Thug right here. It says Young Thug's being transferred. fuck we not have YouTube on here? Bro, how do I even know? I don't know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tim.
How come we're not streaming?
What the hell? We're all streaming.
We are?
Yeah.
I was on there and nobody was on here.
Really?
Yeah. It's just pointing at the wall.
You should see two things.
No, it's two write-ups right now.
Come see. This is what you should be seeing.
Two write-ups. Nope. Write-ups.
Nope. I don't want to see.
Nope.
Sir, it's on, sir. And we got a new viewer, first time chatter. Welcome, first time chatter. 6 years out pouring. That's right.
I'm gonna go get the buzz ball right now.
Let's go.
The biggie.
Look at
See?
it. Gotta get that
I'm
celebration
all
in.
excited and shit.
All of a sudden, I got life. I got life in me.
Did you get it done?
You ain't do shit, Manny.
Did you get it done?
Crack the whip. Crack the whip.
Alright, buddy. I wanna see. It better have like 500 views, like right now. The amount that you spend.
The amount that you spent.
Yeah. It better have like 500 views. Look at your camera quality, bro.
I told him, bro. Stop the cap. Tell him, what was Andrew doing there? Thought Andrew was working Frontline Media. At Gmail.
I want like 6,000 views, fucking 500K likes. But you know what it's missing? Wanna know what it's missing?
Tell him, Manny.
What music is that? What are you listening to?
That's that. I love LA. Yeah.
That's tripping. Come on.
Tell him, Manny.
Needs to be you gotta run it by us first. Needs to reach kids. No.
It needs to reach the children.
Has to be a Rob We Got One food beat, man. That's the only way you can go.
No other option.
Eat it now.
Oh,
This. It needs to be a Rob We Got One food beat, man. An exclusive ass beat. Like you can only use it on. You could use the sound too when people are gonna start using the sound. What do you mean? The video quality's bad. No, that's why you need it. That's the video quality's alright, but the beat is a lot better than the video quality. You know?
Mm-hmm. I heard that.
I heard that. But Rob don't. I don't think he's in the game anymore. I don't think Rob does beats anymore.
He got his dick half in, half out, Your Honor.
Yeah. I don't know where his beats is.
And you don't have to go hunting for the last thing that they said. And that works for both Twitch and YouTube. I should also
No trade-in needed to get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us and the freedom to upgrade every year at boostmobile.com.
Really use half of these because out of the box the chat already looks really good, and then the last thing you want to do is you want to
No trade-in needed to get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us and the freedom to upgrade every year at boostmobile.com.
Really use half of these because out of the box the chat already looks really good. And then the last thing you want to do is you want to copy this streaming chat. So this is dockable. So this is the link that you're going to use to copy your custom dock in OBS. So in OBS, you should know how to do this. This is how you add a custom dock. You go to docs on the top and then you hit custom browser docs. And then what you want to do is just name it. I named mine combined chat. And then you paste the link that you just copied from the program there. And then from there, you're gonna have a dock that you can place wherever you want, and all your chats are gonna show up here. This is much better than having another program like StreamerBot or something off on the side they have to manage when you still have a chat here. It's more ergonomic and custom dock in OBS. So in OBS, you should know how to do this. This is how you add a custom dock. You go to docs on the top, because out of the box the chat already looks really good. And then the last thing you want to do is you want to copy this streaming chat. So this is dockable. So this is the link that you're going to use to copy your custom dock in OBS. So in OBS, you should know how to do this. This is how you add a custom dock. You go to docs on the top and then you hit custom browser docs. And then what you want to do is just name it. I named mine combined chat, and then you paste the link that you just copied from the program there. And then from there, you're gonna have a dock that you can place wherever.
Need inspiration? Shop Ralph's. For thousands of appetizing ingredients and meals, savings like $600 in digital coupons, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you get big flavors and big savings. Ralph's.
An awesome thing. Can't you just leave it be?
Yeah, it probably costs too much anyways.
This product is actually 100% totally free and open source.
No way. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, how to use it. This is the GitHub page that you come up to, and we're just paste it in here. And that takes us right to here. And we want to make sure that developer mode is on, and we're going to go ahead and just slide this bar to enable it. Then all we have to do is go back in and pin it, and now we're going to find the Social Stream Ninja up here in the top right in our extensions bar for our Chrome browser. That's the hard part. Now I get to show you what this thing can do.
You are excited about this one, aren't you?
I sure am, Carl. This is such a cool app.
Maybe calm down a bit. I don't want you to blow out your heart getting too excited.
Ah, you do care, Carl.
I gotta eat. So let him have it in the comments.
Streaming dockable. So this is what you're gonna dock in OBS. It's going to aggregate all your chats. So Twitch and YouTube and Facebook and any other chat that you want to see is going to be able to be docked in your OBS. Now right here, you can hide the menu bar if you like. Now right here means you can add it in as an overlay on your stream as well. So not just dockable, but an overlay. And you can use these buttons to turn on and off different features of that overlay. You can change the mechanics so it can hide and bring up new messages and all that kind of stuff. There are so many different things in here that you can do with your messages. You can change the visibility of your messages as well. So you can do things like show only your last message and filter out messages with disk checked on. This is how we end up doing the who shut the form down at the end. It saves all the messages to disk and then aggregates the names so we can add them to the wheel. And you can add or delete bots of any sort if you don't want them on there, and you just the speech, which is very cool, so it'll read it out. And you can down here you have the global settings, so you can add in all the optional chat services like Discord, WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram, Slack, and then of course you can opt out of these chats if you don't want to use them for some reason. Different mechanics of how things work, so alerts, you can change the way that they work, usage examples. And then here's import export, so over here, and we'll just call this one chat. But I know you're wondering how you add this into OBS and how you get it to work. So I think it's time that we show you that. Okay, so here we are in OBS. What we're gonna do is we wanna create our chat doc first. So we're gonna go to Docs, and we're gonna go to Custom Browser Docs, and we'll just call this one Chat Ninja. And we're gonna go here. Next, we're gonna go over here, and we want our streaming chat dockable. So we're gonna right click on here, and we're gonna copy the link address. We're gonna go back into here, and we'll paste this in here. And we're gonna click apply. It brings it up and close. Now all we have to do is dock it in here. And there we go. So now this is gonna be the aggregate of our chat. Now, if we wanted to add this into our stream, we can easily do that as well. We can just click the plus and go into our browser, and we can call this one chat and click OK. And we'll put our information in there, and we can go 1920 by 1080 if we want. And if we have anything that's going to make audio, we can put that in there, like speech to chat or something like that. We can do that right here with Control Audio via OBS. So some examples of this would be if any of your messages, you're going to want them to be read. Right here, text to speech. If you want any of this text to speech stuff, it could text to speak incoming messages. If you want to activate any of that stuff in OBS, you have to make sure that you turn on the audio so that you can actually adjust the audio on that. Now, I don't use any of it, so there we go. We're going to click OK. And now it's overlaying the entire screen, so we might have to adjust the size and all that kind of stuff. But we do have one more thing that we want to add. We want to add our individual chat so that we can bring that up and see it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here once again, and we're going to go to our featured chat overlay, and we're going to right click on there, and we're going to copy that link address. We're going to come back in here, and I'm going to click the plus. We're going to go to browser once again, and I'm going to call this chat select and click OK. We'll paste it in here. And I'm not going to change the size on this, and I'm not going to use any audio features for this either. You are welcome to if you choose, and boom. So that our chat select is going to come up right up here. We'll just make it a little smaller like that. And there we go. So now everything is set up except for the emotes. I definitely want to add the emotes so I can show you what those are like. So once again, we're going to click the plus, and we're going to go to browser, and we'll call this emotes. And we'll go ahead and click OK. And all we have to do is get our emotes, and those are right here. And we're going to go ahead and copy the link address. I'm going to go back into OBS. We're going to paste the link address right here. And then I want to go ahead and set this up so it covers the whole screen, 1920 by 1080. And I'm not going to use any audio for this as well, so okay. There we go. So now all of the features are set up. All we have to do is go ahead and start a live stream and show you how this works. But the best part is that you can test this through YouTube if you want. Now, I just want to let you know that there are different ways that Chat Ninja captures your chat. So how you're going to want to figure that out is in the instructions in Chat Ninja. So right here in the README on the Social Stream Ninja page, it tells you exactly how you're going to activate each of these chats so that they're going to show up in here and in your overlay. So for Twitch, you have to pop it out to trigger it. For YouTube, you just pop it out. For Facebook, you go to guest view, publisher view, or producers pop out chat. And each one is going to have its own little method. So you've got to make sure that you read this little information thing for the different chats if you want to use them in your OBS. But they all have ways to use them, and there's instruction right here on exactly how to do that. So it's very, very simple. We're just going to use YouTube And that makes it really easy to do. So here we are in our YouTube, and we don't even have to go live. All we have to do is go ahead and pop out the chat, and there we go. So we actually have some chat that I put in here before. This chat is not actually going to show up over in our OBS. I can promise you that. As you can see, there's no chat here. There's no chat coming on the screen or anything like that. But let's go ahead and bring it up. And we'll just bring it over here. And all I have to do to activate any of these features is type something in here. So we'll type hello. And you can see it pops up here. It pops up in our main chat window. So this is the main chat overlay. And we can do whatever we want with it. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna place it over here. In fact, what I can do is I'm gonna go ahead and make that full screen, and I'll just grab this and bring this over here. And then we'll just go like this. So that's our main chat overlay. You can change the way that the main chat overlay looks by going into your extension, and these all right here will give you different ways to access the visibility and styling of the chat overlay that you can lay right over top of your live stream, just like that. Now, as far as the chat select, all I have to do is click on it over here, and you're gonna see there it is. It shows up right over there. You can change the styling on that as well, but it's that simple to add it. And then let me show you what the emote wall does. That's this feature right here. So we can trigger emotes. We'll go over here and we'll bring up our chat box right here, and we'll just put some emotes in here. And we can use whatever emotes we want. We can just load them all up. A lot of people use this feature on my live stream, and that's because it just looks cool. It's just a lot of fun. So there we go. We put that in there, and then you can see there's this burst of emotes that just goes across the screen. It's freaking awesome. So let me just reiterate what we have here. We have the Chat Ninja dock. And that is controlled by this dockable streaming chat thing right here. So you add that by going up to custom browser docks, and it's this one right here. And that allows you to dock it over here. And you need to do that so that you can select the chat that will pop up here. You can use the chat select. Now this feature right here, that uses the exact same URL that we got over here, the dockable chat, but it allows you to add your chat right over top of your live stream if you want to add the chat. So that's what we have here. All the chats from all the different chats that you're in, whether it's Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, it will add all the chats. You can see the little icon right there. It tells you where the chat came from. And then the last feature is the emotes feature, and you just add that as a browser source, and anytime that anyone uses any emotes, you're all set. So it's very, very simple to add all of these features, and you can configure these in so many different ways. You just kind of got to play around with it so that you can make it look exactly how you want this to look in your live stream. I love this app. There are more features as well, but they're a little more niche, and I have to leave you something that you can get to play around with and figure out for yourself. There are so many ways to use this, it's only limited by your imagination.
I got a pretty good imagination.
Really, Carl?
Yeah, I'm imagining that you're going to the store to get me top sirloin for dinner.
Wow, you do have a vivid imagination.
I am so hungry now.
Well, why don't you just imagine that you're totally full?
Not funny at all, man.
If you want to see another way to add chat to your live stream, you should check this video out. And if you're always looking for tools, tips, and tricks to help make you a better live streamer or YouTuber, subscribe to the channel. My name is Michael Fire Jr. That is Carl the Cat.
Yo.
Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.
The key to great skin is exfoliating and moisturizing. Old Spice gives me both.
Hey Flex, considering there's a heat wave, it's kind of chilly in here.
Oh, that's because I'm pre-cooling the house with the AC before 4 p.m. Then I'll turn our thermostat to a comfortable 78 or higher. That way I can stay cool later.
Whew, what about me?
You're never cool.
Oh.
Teams
switching off? On Miro, the innovation workspace, teams work on an infinite AI-powered canvas. No more silos, no more blank stares, no more productivity tools that aren't very productive. On the canvas, projects ship faster. Why? Because teams are on the same page from idea to outcome. So there's no more dozing off, switching off, or wandering off in different directions. There's better collaboration, problem solving, and AI tools that do things like this. Brief written, next steps agreed, even time to call your mom. Oh, hey, Patty. Miro, Miro on the wall. Who's the fastest of them all? You are, Jenny. You are. Innovation belongs on the canvas. Innovation belongs on Miro.
Hours of cough relief, day or night.
Adding a guest to an OBS stream is not difficult. There are apps out there that can help make it really easy to do, and they're totally free. Pretty much any number of guests as well. Let me show you how to do it today. So you know what? Let's get to it! The app I want to show you today is called Video Ninja. It's a totally free open source program that makes it easy to add as many guests as you want to your live stream. It also makes it easy for your guests to connect their cameras, microphones, and they can even connect with nothing more than their cell phone. There are links in the description if you want to check it out. Let me show you how to set it up. So here we are on the Video Ninja, and for the purposes of what we're going to do, we're going to create a room. And you just want to put your room name in here. In my case, we're gonna call this one OBS Michael. And we can put an optional password. I don't mess around with any of this stuff. Now I'm gonna enter the room under the director's role. And then the first thing I'm gonna do is go down and customize a couple of things here.
Stand in front of the mic, sir. Fucking smile like you fucking got a care in the world. Yep, thumbs out, guys. Really? Yep. Oh, you weren't here. You didn't get to see it. Yeah, he officially got released today. Mistrial.
No way.
Nah, it wasn't mistrial. It was he took a plea deal.
Oh shit.
He said, I'm done doing jail time though. I'll do community service. I'll get back to the treasury. But I ain't fucking doing no more jail time. Time served. My boy's coming home. Where's the remote at, Rob? How did it end up going? Wait, what? Broke down crying.
Prosecutors have put on lies, knowing lies, hiding evidence, is insane
in 2024 in the United States of America. And the only reason that this got revealed is because of you people. You people brought the truth to the community.
That's right.
Nobody knows this. This is not the only
I
court
was
that's
off for a
happening
second
in.
because he said you people.
And I just want to thank all of you. I especially want to thank Jeffrey for letting me represent him. I think he's a wonderful person who does wonderful things and will continue to do things even greater. I cannot express to you how Shaquille Kokomo, how Trisha Renard, how Haley, how my wife Colette, how Graham, how countless people, but especially Miss Courtney Edwards, have worked without sleep for 3
He got in
years
trouble.
representing
He didn't clean today. He's on cleaning duty.
and helping them. I will never be able to
But
stand with
low
anyone
key,
more
he wanted to
ethical,
put you on write-up duty because
honest,
he said
hardworking,
the toilet wasn't
insightful,
clean.
intelligent, and kind than the Honorable Keith Adams. The gentleman to my left is the best lawyer in the country.
No, the outside of the toilet.
Let me answer that.
Like
The short answer is no.
On the outside, not the inside. I got the little.
This is a case that
inside,
possibly
like,
could
the
have been
outside was clean.
resolved if folks were reasonable. But we did not believe that we could enter into good faith negotiations with people who wanted a case resolved in a manner simply to save face. And Jeffrey Williams was not going to say things that they wrote for him, that they wanted him to say. That was their theory when it wasn't true. And
Robert
so,
said no. Robert
good
said
faith,
he
no.
pissed at a certain spot.
I don't believe we were ever really negotiating in good faith. And you've been here the past year that this case has been on trial. You've seen the numerous motions for mistrial. You've seen the behavior of the state. You've seen the dishonesty. You've seen everything being hidden. You've seen things come out in court in front of you. And so, you
guys ain't looking. Hibachi ain't looking good.
And that's
Hibachi ain't looking good for the rest of the year.
Mr. Steele and I have fought through this for the past 2.5 years. And as he said, we ultimately decided we were going to put our faith in the court as opposed to the folks on the other side of the aisle. And, you know, the best thing out of all of this is that Jeffrey Williams, in a very short period of time, will be home. And that's all we wanted from May 9th, when they went and picked him up and have held him in jail without a bond.
Oh yeah, that's right.
2.5
That is,
years.
what we?
He'll be home
What
shortly.
we? I'm sorry. It's right there where the toilet bowl is, next to that piss that you missed. I was like, hey. No, today, Rob's gonna clean today. She's gonna make you guys a promo video. Rob's assigned Thursdays, your Wednesdays, his Thursdays.
Well, I didn't want to give up the jury trial.
Everybody else, and then I'm Fridays, and then
that was a
I'll take
decision
Saturdays
made.
if I'm here Saturdays,
Once that
and then
decision
Sundays
was
everybody
made,
has, I'm sorry, Saturdays nobody does Saturdays, and then
thankful that
Sundays,
there are people like the Honorable
Sarah
Judge
does
Whitaker
Sundays, Andrew does
who
Mondays.
understands what a trial is like and what it should be like.
Oh, me, and then I'm
I
Tuesdays.
cannot thank Honorable Court for being here and coming in. She's not our first judge, which is the first time we've
Hey, well, we just can't be writing our names next to it if we don't get it done right.
I have, for the 30 some odd years that I've practiced law, always believed that if you, as a prosecutor, think
he's
that
right!
someone has committed
Rob,
a
you're
crime,
wrong.
you charge them with a crime, you put it in front of a jury, and then you do it fairly and let the chips fall where they may. The courtroom is not the place to get adventurous, to get inventive, to think, well, we don't have evidence on him for any of these incidents, but maybe, if just maybe, we tie him up in a RICO and put him with people who may have committed crime, we can get him that way. That's an abuse.
It was done though,
And
that
so,
month,
yes, for some
Monday
strange
morning.
reason, the Fulton County DA's office seems to be in
Okay,
love
yeah,
with
you're right,
RICO.
you're right. All right.
And my honest opinion is that they're in love with
right.
it because it makes
Right.
it easier for them to try and convict people that they otherwise could not convict. And that's what was happening here. We're fighting a mountain, reams of evidence, most of which didn't have anything to do with us. And so, is it an abuse? I think it is. There are better ways to, and I used to be a prosecutor, right? And I can tell you that there are better ways to prosecute cases than the way this case was prosecuted.
We're waiting for Frankie to pull up the beer. Hey, go buy some beer before you come. Cash on us. Some cash.
I'm not going to get into plea negotiations because they are a privilege under statute, but it was
I said go buy
outrageous.
some beer first.
They would let him out of custody, but they would have a tether around him so tight that it's unconscionable.
How are y'all feeling about
we'll see. How long do you get here?
sentencing is, especially with not being able to be in Metro Atlanta, except for
Oh, okay. All right then, for sure. Yeah.
You know, we're okay with the sentence. There comes a time in any case, if a person is sentenced, that we're out of the courtroom, and now what happens to that person is entirely up to them. Jeffrey Williams is a fantastically talented man. He is a great person. He's become a great friend over the course of the last couple of years. And he has the ability, the incentive to go forth and do everything he needs to do to put this behind him. And we're confident that he will. One of the questions you asked a little earlier was, what was that feeling like stepping into a courtroom to do what's called a blind plea, not knowing what's going to happen? You know, it's a scary feeling for all involved. There's probably no feeling quite like that other than sitting in a courtroom waiting for a jury to come out and tell you what your fate is. But we walked in there knowing that we were in front of a fair tribunal and being comfortable that the right thing was going to happen, and the right thing did.
I've known Jeffrey Williams, I've defended him for over a decade. I have been with him where we go to young children, children in need, children who are going down the wrong way. And he tells exactly what he's going to continue to say. He tells everybody, this is not a good life. We have to stop the generational disaster that is plaguing the community. And although right now, I'm successful, I'm a product, but every one of you can get out, and he always stresses education. Jeffrey Williams is a great person, great role model, and he will do even better now, hopefully, if you allow him and his words to get out. As far as how Jeffrey's feeling now, he knows my feelings, which I'm not going to reveal for attorney-client privilege, but this is not the same as a not guilty verdict. That should have been ran. But nobody here wakes up every day on a concrete floor that they're calling his bed, gets up at 4:15, gets shackled with his feet, his waist, and his hands, comes to the Fulton County Courthouse to be on concrete, eating out of a bag. Doritos is his meal of choice. And then coming to a courtroom and sit there with a leg chain on him every single day and hear lie after lie. So for Jeffrey, go home today and not have another 90 days or 120 days of it, he is very happy, thankful to the Honorable Court. So to answer your question, this was not what I wanted. I don't believe that it is just, but I believe that under these circumstances, it is justice for Jeffrey Williams, and he is delighted, as are we. Thank you.
Okay, it looks like the YouTube is working.
Jeffrey Williams is being truthful. That is his heartfelt feelings. He feels so bad for the loss of life. And he feels bad that people are taking his music or his social postings and making it into violence. That is all promotion. That is not a symbol of go hurt somebody. So I hope I've answered your question directly, but how I felt, I've heard that from Jeffrey over and over again.
You called out a lot of challenges in this trial based on the prosecution's points. Do you have any message to, you know, the co-counsel that for now is still on trial, or what's left of them?
Oh my God, they are phenomenal lawyers, and I'm confident if you keep going, which I assume you will see some great lawyering. They don't need my help.
And the truth is, they've been there with us for the past 2.5 years. They're aware of what they're up against. They are totally capable of handling it, and I presume we'll step in from time to time because, you know, in this fight in the past 2.5 years, we've been together. So we needed something, they've been there to assist, and if they need something, we're happy to step right back in and assist. But they're great lawyers. Max Shard, Doug Weinstein, those gentlemen are in great hands. They'll be fine.
I will say this, I think it is wrong, and it needs to be fixed, that an innocent man is arrested on May 9th of 2022, is denied bond, and has to plead guilty and nolo to get freedom after 2.5 years in custody. That should not happen. Nobody should be on trial. Jurors, think about what they're going through. Nobody should be on trial like this. And if Mr. Williams didn't have the resources, this never happens well for anybody. So I think it's an abuse to answer the AJC's question. I think it's an abuse of the statute of RICO to do this to people. I believe that Mr. Williams is home, and I'm delighted. Justice would have been served on May 8th of 2022 if the grand jury no-billed his indictment. That would have been just. And it's wrong to be under investigation. He's been under investigation for 15 years. 15 years by task force of federal government and local government. Think about that. Think about your children doing that. And that's okay. If it's okay with you all, then we should really start moving to another country. I want to thank everybody so much for everything you do. I cannot thank you all, because without you guys, no, this just keeps rolling in injustice. It's got to end. The criminal justice system, the presumption of innocence, the Brady rules, the ethical rules, they have to survive. Otherwise, we all are victims of this. Anyone can sit in that seat next to Keith Adams. Thank you all so much.
And no one sees it unless you guys do what you do. But I tell you what, there is a whole world of people out there who have watched this trial over the course of the past 2.5 years. The past year that we've actually been in the courtroom trying the case, who are much more educated to how things work, and unfortunately, sometimes how things don't work. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Brian, it's me, Brian.
The nature of our enemy is unclear now. What do you want us to do about it? Protect us.
Unlock the Vault Edition today.
California wildfires are different today, so California's approach needs to be different. Proposition 4 helps us stop these devastating fires. Early detection, prevention, critical equipment. Yes on 4, prevent wildfires and protect our drinking water. Helps us stop these devastating fires.
One dude called out his whole crew on live and got stomped out, while another talked smack about an ops mama and gets smoked. Here's some thugs who diss the wrong ops on live, starting out with these wannabe gangsters, while another talks smack about an ops mama and get smoked. Here's some thugs who diss the wrong ops on live, starting out with these wannabe gangsters, while another talks smack about an ops mama and get smoked. Here's some thugs who diss the wrong ops on live, starting out with these wannabe gangsters, while another talks smack about an ops mama and get smoked. Here's some thugs who diss the wrong ops on live.
That's my Kobe. I feel
Hey, you two wish you could hang out, right? Okay, hang out side by side in here. Love is in the air, and so is that car. With MetaQuest, you can be together no matter where you are. Hang out side by side in here.
That's my call. Phil Jackson, goddammit.
Complex, and I am joined by two hip-hop
Phil Jackson, goddammit.
They're here to celebrate the launch of the Boom Juice canned cocktail and celebrate the 30th anniversary of their iconic song.
Jackson, goddammit.
Thank you so much for joining me today. You have had a good time off your music.
I've had so many. This nigga too.
Mine were more distinctive. You know what I'm saying? Like, being in the studio with him, I wasn't like a heavy gin drinker. I used to buy like a little small baby bottle or whatnot. But getting with him, you would get like super faded, and it was like it would bring the best out of us. I remember like writing songs, like very intoxicated, but the things that I wrote were dope as fuck.
Yeah.
The gin that was very like
Let's just say there's very few songs that we made. So, if any,
me neither. I had it.
So it's fair to say the gin gets the creative juice.
I don't know if that's the core to the creativity or to the
Took that inspiration to that era.
Yeah, it just helps. It makes the studio fun. Like we always wanted to feel like a party.
And you guys are still partying now. So 30 years later, obviously you guys, I want to say, are brothers at this point. What has been the key to your friendship lasting this long? And you guys
Trust,
are still partying now. So 30 years
respect,
later, obviously you guys, I want to say,
Myself,
are
Snoop,
brothers
and Jimmy,
at this
we're
point.
all
What
in
has
this
been the
place
key
where
to
we're
your
good.
friendship
We don't need to do anything. We don't need anything else. Why not just have something else to have fun and get our creative juices flowing? This is one of the things that we decided to land on. And it's crazy, ironically, it's right at the time when we're working on Snoop's next album. This is Missionary after all this time. So all of these things are playing ironically right at the time. And after 30 years, believe it or not, man, this is our first time working on an album in 30 years. I did so Doggy Style thing 30 years ago. We've done things in between songs here and there, and these shows our first time, but this is the first time we got together and worked on an entire album. We've done 30 years. I feel like it's some of the best music I've ever made, and I'm really proud of it.
Comparing Snoop from Doggy Style Snoop to Missionary Snoop, what evolution have you seen?
There's just a certain level of maturity that I think people are going to really enjoy and understand when they hear the record.
Is it still Diva?
I'm not sure. That's a label that the public gave. There's just a certain level of maturity. I'd like to call it that. I'm not sure what to call it. I'll just say it's a level of maturity that comes along with the production, with the musicianship, with the lyrics, with the performance and all that. It's a step above, which it should surely say. Production,
Not that you're old.
musicianship,
Yes,
the
true.
lyrics.
We're wise, baby.
Yes, aging like fine wine.
We're wise, baby.
Snoop, I read that you still get nervous showing Dre your work, project, songs.
Anything that I do outside of him, I don't want him to.
Snoop, I read that
Because he's so critical, he's so like, he's a perfectionist. And it's like, that's why I chose to work with him on this project rather than try to do something outside of it. What you think about this, Dre? No, why not just like let him produce and give me the greatest experience I've ever had? Because when I work with other producers, they get close, but they can't do what they do.
I guess you could call it perfection, but I want things right. And perfection, I'll be honest with you, is just something I use to waste time. Not waste time, to buy time. Perfectionism, I don't know if anything can ever be perfect. I don't even want it to be perfect because humans aren't perfect, so the music should. It has to be right for everybody that's involved. Right now, it's 3 parties involved. Me, Snoop, and Jimmy. If all 3 of us are loving it, then we go.
But it can't be 2 to 1. It's gotta be 3 to 0.
everybody has to sign
It
off.
can't be 2 to 1. It's gotta be 3 to 0.
For every
It's all of us.
It can't be 2-1 on nothing. It has to be all, and it is.
It's all of our record. It's me, Jimmy, this is us.
Everything we do, it has to be 3-0. It's always perfection.
It's all of our
3-0.
record.
I mean, yeah, it's clearly worth the project so much.
Everything we do. I love being in the trifecta with these guys because I have less work to do. I can just be Snoop Dogg when I'm with them. Like, I don't have to be the thinker, the manager, the orchestrator, the creator. I can just be the fucking talent.
And that's where the trust comes in. You have to trust us, which means I can't fuck up, and we're gonna show up.
We're on our A game, like we bring the best out of each other. Like when we're together, we're great. I'm great when I'm with Dr. Dre. When I'm not with Dr. Dre, we're on our A game. Like we bring the best out of each other. Like when we're together, we're great. I'm great when I'm with Dr. Dre. When I'm not with Dr. Dre, we're on our A game. Like we bring the And I know that this gives the people what they want, they enjoy it. But whenever I step into a place with him, I just feel the energy just change. It's like I have my superhero friend with me, my super friend is with me, and now I can do less work but get bigger attention.
And this is not us just talking shit. This is the reality. This is how it is. We're not just doing this shit for the camera. That's how it really is.
You created like a safe space for all these people to do it for themselves.
Absolutely.
Knowing that you've already created this space and everyone is just like reaching their creative peak, what does success look like for this album? Is it like sales, or has the success already happened? You just meet everyone in the team like people that you love to care about?
I'm glad you asked that question because the industry nowadays, you can't tell what the sale is. Which the last 5 years I never cared about a sale. I'm glad you asked more about what it felt like.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you? Does it make you have a moment in time to roll? If I see you 5 years from now and you tell me when you made Missionary, you got me through this, or it was so dope that you did this, I'm about to feel it in the moment rather than a sale.
Do you feel like that's why you've lasted so long?
Yeah, because I never counted the numbers and I never watched my highlights because I always had a game to play the next day.
Period.
I'm always looking for the producers to come to me like, how the fuck did you get that snare drum to sound like that? So that's what I'm looking for. I'm always trying to inspire the producers and the guys to do what I do.
You know what's crazy? I did a little concert for somebody in Hollywood, right? Paul McCartney was there. So I never met him before, but I'm a fucking fan of the Beatles. I know Jimmy knew him, Dre knew him. So I'm in the back smoking, and they like, Sir Paul would like to meet you. I'm like, oh, for real? Hold on. I put the blunt out, cuz walk in the room like, don't put that down. He give me a hug and he meet me, and it's like, I'm like, fuck, Paul McCartney know who the fuck Snoop Dogg is.
Well, you're Snoop Dogg.
No, you're not listening to me. Fuck who Snoop Dogg is. This is Paul McCartney. Like, he knows who I am. That's the experience that I love, is when the people that you respect you. And that's only from doing quality shit.
So would you do a collab with Paul McCartney?
Fuck yes, at a heartbeat. Ebony and Ivory, what? The girl is mine. What do you want to do?
In a Compton minute.
Like a motherfucker.
Well, okay, so to that point, would you go back and do a song with Stevie Wonder? Because I know that you turned that down.
You know what? It's crazy because I bumped into Stevie Wonder a couple times, and he calls me. Like, when you come to my house,
bumped into him a couple times.
Yeah, stop it. He pulled up on me at a restaurant. I heard you been talking about me.
No, that nigga's a joke.
You know what? Yeah, Stevie is so fucking fun, man, and he's like one of my heroes. I would absolutely go in there with him. I don't know what I would do. What do I do in a room with Stevie Wonder? You know, that's one of my heroes. And I was always taught that maybe you shouldn't meet your heroes.
What about that
song? It might change the perspective.
Been Through the Storm. Did you mix that?
What's
I've been through the storm, through the coming rain. It's on Busta Rhymes album.
Yeah. I did.
Because Stevie Wonder was on that motherfucker.
Yeah. I'm talking about being in the room together.
Y'all wasn't together on that? That shit sound hard as a motherfucker.
But, you know, it's like being in the room with Stevie Wonder is like, you know.
Well, I've been in the room with the nigga before. I got for real so motherfucking high. He left me in there with the nigga, and he in there doing this shit, and nobody in there helping the nigga. No, for real. He left the nigga there. I'm like, what you want me to do? I ain't no producer. Well, play the harmonica.
So that's a soft yes.
Soft yes.
Okay.
Probably gonna happen. I have to have that experience.
Snoop, your albums have always set the tone for your fashion choices. Can we expect any changes?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes, I'm glad you asked. Yes. We just shot some shit for this gin and juice ad. That's gonna be my new look. That motherfucker was pimping. It was like 3-piece with coat over the top.
Yeah.
Like real grown and like mature, like, you know, fashion statement, runway model like shit, like $30,000 suits every time I step out. The look has to match the music, like next level shit.
Who do you think comes close? Because you are like one of my fashion icons. Who do you think comes close to you in like our generation, rappers?
Pharrell.
Really?
I like his shit. For
Yeah.
real, it's dope as fuck. Even when he was wearing that.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey.
Yeah.
What's the code they sent you on the phone?
Crazy, I didn't get a code. I don't have a code.
They didn't send you a code to the phone?
When? Yesterday?
Right now.
No, then no.
What? Okay, if you get a code, let me know.
Okay. I will.
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome. Love you.
Love you too. Bye. All of a sudden.
Torta Thursdays?
Is that what it is?
Where's it at?
You're gonna have to call Frankie. Frankie will tell you. All right, we're in. Another verification code? There it is.
I'm hungry. Chinese food or what?
Hungry, I'm ready to get drinks.
He's like, I'm ready to get drinks.
How do I respond though now? That's gonna be the question. Let's see. Welcome to the jungle. Okay, so it does it on all of them. We're getting there, Manny. Bro, we're getting there, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, this shit looks solid. You're testing it out. It's looking good.
You say really good. Oh, you're fucking dead.
Come on, guys, let's go.
It really does look really good.
Fucking toothpaste. Let's go. This is getting weird. You don't need to drink. Those are my beers anyway. You guys shouldn't be drinking my beer. Off limits.
Dang.
That's it, Manny. No more.
I don't even drink that shit.
No, no, no. You're here. You're the supervisor. I need you supervising. No more beers.
Okay.
And just want to wait for my kids to disappear over there. Come back and be like, well, I had to check on them, but I had to make sure, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of them then tell me, can you open me up? There's a little hot in this can.
Hot in this can. I've been here all day.
Yeah, I said, oh, thank you, Manny. You want you can have a sip of me. Come on, let's go. I want to get beer. Who's going?
No, I gotta work. I'm like,
You get it. You gotta get what you get. Lock the cat. Beer? If someone on the chat wants to send your boys a nice little 12-pack, address down below. I'm about to buy Modelo's and 805s in the cans. That's why we're spending $1. Oh. My daughter's doing drugs. Drugs out here. Okay. Oh no, I didn't. Uh-oh. Houston, we got a problem. Anthony was pushing buttons again. And I fucked it up. Say it with me. Fucked it up. You dumb fuck. You thought you were smart, weren't you?